Well, good morning and welcome back. It's been a couple of months and we waited until fall until we actually rehome this hive of bees. We'd actually set a trap up here for them, and they didn't go inside the hive. They created a new one underneath it. So we're gonna go up and rehome them for Honeyhome Homestead. All right, so what we ended up doing here is I've got several of these frames prepared. These are 7-inch rubber bands and they're spaced out there. So we're gonna take we're gonna take the comb and attach it here with the rubber bands. The bees will end up eating these, chewing through them, and then pulling the rubber bands out the front of it. I set up a 10 frame deep, and I've got a couple of boards already waxed and ready to go for them. And then I've got the hive set up with a reducer so that they don't have to, since it's such a small hive, we wanted to make sure that they don't have to defend the box as well. So over here, I've got the bee vac set up. Hasn't been used in a very long time, but essentially it's got a gate here that you can open and close to increase or decrease the suction. With it wide open, I have enough suction and I don't want to hurt the bees. And then they're sucked into here, and then there's a wire container inside that they get pulled into. Once you pull this out, a door closes, and I'll show you that here in a few minutes, and it keeps them in there, and then I can pull the whole screen mesh outside and put them directly into the box. So pretty small overall. They're all huddled together. It's very small bees. I guess they're just wild bees. They don't look like Italians or anything, but it doesn't look like they have much food, and it looks like they've been there, judging by the color of it, for about a year. So I got my smoker. We'll go ahead and get this started up, get the ladder into place, and then all I'm going to do is use a hive tool to go up there and start getting the comb off the first part. I waited until early in the morning. It's about 50 degrees outside, so they're still huddled up and cold. I wanted to make sure that the colder it is, the less likely they are to fly off. And so that's why we waited till first thing in the morning, get everything prepared. And so yeah, let's get this started up. It's pretty simple. I just use a propane torch. All right, let's go see this thing. Give him a little bit of, I'll smoke my hands. Unfortunately, they have absolutely nothing in this last one here. I think I'm gonna have to put the camera down here all we're going to end up doing here is attaching the comb. I'll break off a little bit of it. It's really hard. And put it up against the top. And then hold it in with these rubber bands. Unfortunately, it's not thick enough, so we'll have to put it down here at the base and let them work their way up. All right. Second one, absolutely bone dry. This one here, dry also. All right, that's a little bit better. With its width, covers almost the entire thing. So the more square and it will be easier for them to attach this because that's nice and flush there. So I'll get a couple more rubber bands and put it on. so that's one empty frame down. I'm gonna go ahead and take that queen cell off, and then place it into the hive. Start on the next one. I've already got several of these made up here. All right, go back up and get the next section of bees. This one is super flimsy. So for this one, just let them crawl off of it for a minute and check in here for the queen. I don't see any brood or anything. Looks like all honey cells. These bees are incredibly small, much smaller than I'm used to seeing. Looks like this one might just fit without modifications. Take the extra rubber bands off so they don't have to work at it. In she goes. All right, looks like that's the last major one up there. So let's get to vacuuming. I need to get a better view on this here. From my point, I chance dropping this one here, and I think the queen might be on this one. So let me move the ladder and I'll be right back. So this is another empty frame. These girls have nothing. They got just a couple of small sections here. Shake them down in there. Let's brush them off. They're starting to get irritated, understandably. So you just make it so it will scoot in. They will hopefully attach all that together. And now all we have is this one last little piece. Let's go get the girls, finish this job up. Alright, so what I'm going to end up doing here is I got a couple of these pre-made frames. The girls are already working. So I'm going to surround the comb that they already have, leave that in the center. And, alright, so I got one on the outside, perfect. A pretty decent amount. Follow that up with 2 frames on the outside here, and then now it's time to get the girls out. So the easiest way to do this here is pull this, and the door automatically shuts in there. Push the unlock. And there's your container. A little bit of a bad design in my opinion. There. It's difficult to get out. But there's all the girls. Alright, the last thing to do here is flip the 2 latches, which unlocks the lid. Put them with their friends. Alright, the last thing to do is give them a little smoke, drive them down. Alright, so they've actually, most of them have come in, they're fanning, they're guarding the entrance, which is all great. So the last thing I'm going to do is take some granulated sugar. They basically had no food. There's no honey in there, there's no brood, there's basically nothing. So I think that we're a queenless hive right now. So I'll have to come back in a couple of days, see if I can find one. But the last thing I'm going to do before I leave for the day is put the granulated sugar on the top, and then that way since they're already under enough stress and the combs aren't really attached, I don't want to give a lot of sugar or water. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and put the granulated sugar. That way they don't have to work as hard and they can concentrate on repairing the comb. So if we put too much sugar or water in there, one, they have to defend the hive, but the comb in most of those aren't actually attached yet. So we want to make sure that they have time to make all the combs that we just took out attached to the frames before they get too heavy. So let's open this up, see how they're doing. So I sprinkle a little bit down in there, give it a little circle. That's it. So the last thing I have to do before I leave is to put a rock on top of it, and then I actually have this, so this is facing south, which is the entrance. This side here is facing north, and we're supposed to get some cold winds, so I wanted to make sure that they don't have the cold winds blowing in the front door of their house. So that's why I faced it the way that I'm going to do. And we're leaving it right next to the tree, so that's where they were. There's only a few that are still swarming up there or buzzing around there. Most of them have actually gone into the hive, and so we're in pretty good shape.